Hi guys, it's LSP. It's currently the 23rd of April 2019 at 12:12 p.m. GMT time. Okay, just a quick video just to go through a study trade that I have open to give you guys some ideas on what I'm going to be expecting for the remainder of the week. We're looking at the dollar index, and you can see we had a really nice push into the 97.10 level that we had marked off previously. And we've stabilized up in the upper portion, the top end of this really nice expansive bar or candle. So hopefully we should get some continuation into the 97.70 level, which is the weekly level that I had marked off. Sorry, zoomed in too much. That I had marked off for a while. It seems price is nicely grinding up there, and I can't see any reasons. Just based on order flows, why price should be going lower at this point. The higher time frame draw on price for me is still 97.70, and potentially a little higher, but that should provide this whole area up here should provide, and this area here, this inefficiency should provide some price sensitivity once price gets up there, assuming that it does. So with this in mind, obviously I'm expecting lower prices on euro, and you can see that I have opened a study trade, just a very small amount of lot size, and I'm going to be expecting a run into the lower portion down here at 111.11, which is something that I've had marked up on the charts for a while as well. So we did all this analysis. I was talking about the monthly levels, and I was saying that I was expecting now prices as rebalanced enough, okay, based on what I'm seeing, to expect lower prices on Europe. So with that said and that in mind, this is the giveaway for me. This stop run up here, okay, and this really nice aggressive move lower. Very small relief here, nice push lower, back up, nice drop. And then we're getting a little bit of movement into this purple box that I've noted on the chart. The 112.78 or 112.80 level is the line in the sand. If price does get through that convincingly, then I would expect this level to be rebalanced up here and all of this liquidity taken out. But as of right now, mainly based on the dollar and the flows of euro, I'm expecting lower prices. I have been expecting lower prices for a while. We just drop down to the hourly. I'll show you the actual entry. Was a move into the first initial move on Monday into the level that I've noted in that sort of like lilac, or I don't know what it is, lavender box. And you can see we had some nice drop from there during the Asian session. It's popped back up there and then back down, getting a little bit messy. But I'd like to see price start to kind of grind lower now. There is some news coming out tomorrow for euro. So I'm hoping during the London session that things start to pick up a little bit. It may want to pop up there one more time to take out Monday's highs and then reverse and come lower. But as you can see, I've got a very wide stop on this, 40 pip stop, okay, and a 100 plus pip target. So in terms of ratios and risk reward and so on, the trade makes perfect sense. It's just going to be a trade that I'm going to be holding, okay, and I'll see how it kind of pans out. And again, it's a study trade, guys. It's something that I've put out there as a study trade. I was thinking, as I'm progressing with these videos and I'm trying to find ways to kind of get information out there, in a viable way, so people can kind of look at it and everybody can learn from. Because obviously, as traders, we all think differently. We all use different tools. We all look at the markets in a different way. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to generalize trading in a way where, regardless of whether you use indicators or not, whether you use news drivers or not, regardless of whether you're a scalper, a swing trader, whatever, I'm trying to do it in a way where any trader from any field in the way that they do things, can benefit. And obviously, higher time frame analysis is something that we should all be paying attention to, regardless of whatever tools we're using to trade. And lower time frame order flows, are things that we should be paying attention to, regardless of whether or not we use indicators or news drivers or not, or just use naked charts or different colors. It's irrelevant. Whatever, these are constants in trading. These are things that keep traders safe. These are things that keep traders on the right side of the market. These are things that keep traders in line with their risk, to be able to, have their stops in places where it makes, the most sense, to build risk reward models that make sense to their own personal trading, and just give a good general overview, of the market as a whole. So, like I said, as I'm progressing with the videos and kind of evolving in the way that I'm presenting this information, okay, because I've got a lot of experience, but putting that in a video is very difficult. So the best way to do that, which kind of makes sense, well, made sense to me at the time, was to just open a trade that we can monitor as time is going by. Okay, and obviously I can't just open a trade in the middle of nowhere. This trade makes perfect sense to me personally. Okay, so it is based exactly on what I look for, in terms of my normal main account trading, where I'm just looking for my, my 20 pip, I have 20 pip target, take half off, stop break even, and then, if I get my 30 pips, great. If not, I get stopped out on the last half. That is my model. That is exactly how I trade. And if you notice, anybody that's been paying attention to some of the trades that I open, they're pretty much, it's always the same trade, really. And I prefer to take shorts. I've said this for many times in lots of different videos that I've done. I've always preferred to take short trades. It's just the way I am personally. It's something that resonates with me, and I've been doing that for years. So it's just a larger range version, okay, of the trade that I normally take. Okay, so we'll see how it pans out. And again, it's something that we can study. The stop is wide enough, okay, for us to stay in this trade for a while. It's very unlikely that euro is just going to rip to the upside and stop me out, and then rip to the downside. It would require something of quite a large magnitude in terms of news or volatility. So it would need something insane, for price to just do that for no reason. So, it is a slow start to the week. As I said in the Telegram room, I am expecting price to kind of pick up a little bit tomorrow and going into Thursday, with some of the news drivers that will be coming out tomorrow as well. So with that in mind, it's a great opportunity now to kind of study price and see whether or not these higher time frame draws, on the weekly are indeed in play, okay, based on the things that I've discussed in previous videos, and then we can monitor that as we go and kind of get a feel for what it's like, for price to kind of move within these ranges and move within these, these levels, and kind of get clues as to whether or not we're on the right track as price is unfolding. And we will do that, using the kind of lower time frame, 4 hour and hourly, to see where the flows are actually going. If we just look at the 4 hour here, we can see that there's some liquidity above here, but we've had a really nice drop. Okay, and there's some liquidity down here. Now we're very close to this liquidity pool down here. So if we factor that in, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about in terms of allowing price to just kind of unfold over a larger period of time, right? This level down here, okay. So we have this level down here, and we also have this level up here. Okay, so if you factor these two levels in terms of liquidity pool, so we've got a liquidity pool up here, and we've got a liquidity pool down here. Okay, so if you just look at it from a basic stop point of view, there are traders that potentially have their stops here, and there are traders that potentially have their stops here. So we've got some traders that are short, we've got some traders that are long. Some of them put their stops here, and some of them put their stops here. Okay, great. So we'll just take basic price manipulation. Okay, we're very close to this liquidity pool down here. Okay, we're about, give or take, 20 or so pips away. Okay, now obviously from a higher liquidity pool, around about 70 or so pips away. Now, if you think about daily ranges and where we are within those daily ranges, is it likely that price is going to rip all the way up here and take out this liquidity pool, considering where price is right now? No. Not only that, we've got a brick wall to get through first. Okay, this purple box. Okay, why this purple box? I'm not going to go into it. It's too much to go into. But just to give you a really rough idea, okay, it's a swing point. It's a crossover point, basically, where price, okay, shoots up, creates this, retest, and then it drops right through that price level right there. And in doing so, as price starts to retest that level, it is natural, natural resistance. Okay, there are other reasons why price should effectively stop there, but without going into too much, the reality is it is natural resistance. So price has gone up there. It would have to get through this brick wall first, and then this area here, and then the liquidity pool up here, and then the inefficiency here. Where price is right now, it's it's very unlikely that that's going to happen as of right now. Okay, so when you look at price in this way, I'll go back to the 4 hour. Okay, it gives you a better understanding as the trade is unfolding, because we're using a wide stop, we're using a larger target. Okay, we're looking for the weekly range, potentially a 2-week range as price starts to grind towards that 111.11 level, 111 big figure. Okay, to watch how price reacts around these levels. So far, price has ground up to this, this brick wall, we'll say. Okay, this previous point, this natural resistance level, and we've stabilized a little bit here. Okay, now if price shoots up, takes out Monday's high, and then rips back down, okay, that tells us something. If price rips lower now and takes out this liquidity pool, okay, and then shoots all the way back up and then gets through this level, okay, that tells us a lot. If price goes down, takes out the liquidity pool, and starts to kind of hover around there a little bit, retests some small area of resistance here, and then starts to grind lower and grind lower, again, it's telling us a lot of information as the trade is unfolding. But I wanted to portray a lot of the things that I wanted to kind of show on the chart in a visual way, where you guys can actually see how price is unfolding in a trade that is open. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Obviously, I hope I've explained it in a way that makes sense to everybody. As always, my intention is for everybody to learn something from these videos. And I will keep you all posted as the trade is unfolding. And we'll see. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about assessing price action and getting a better feel for mainly order flows. That's the main thing, really, what I'm trying to get across: the actual flow of orders and where natural support and resistance forms, and effectively where price should be stopping and where price should be driving for. So we'll see. All right, guys. So I hope the video finds everybody well. And I will catch up with you guys in the next video or the next update. All right, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.